Hey, this is Mike at Craft Beer Storm, your host, and also founder brewer at Brew Brewing Company in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Today we're going to bring you this week's craft beer news. We have a segment called Craft Brew News that we release every Friday. I'll give you an update on what's going on there in the beer world. Last night just brewed another batch of cake here, so I'm kind of sore. That's our Oreo-infused Java Porter, but everybody's coming in and they want this thing. So I'm doing it for you guys. If you're in the Portsmouth area or Massachusetts or Maine, come on in and get some, probably towards the end of, before Christmas. Before Christmas will be out. All right, anyway, first story. MillerCoors and Pabst settle a lawsuit over a brewing contract. MillerCoors and Pabst Brewing settled a lawsuit Wednesday in which Pabst claimed the bigger brewer lied about its ability to continue brewing Pabst beers to put the company out of business. Big accusations. We got a lot of accusations in this week with these articles. Coors said, we have reached an amicable settlement in the case and are pleased to resolve all outstanding issues with Pabst. The settlement details were not disclosed, so we don't know what they agreed upon. Since 1999, the Chicago-based MillerCoors has made and shipped nearly all of Pabst beers, which include Pabst Blue Ribbon, Old Milwaukee, Lone Star, and Schlitz. Pabst lawyers argued the company's 2016 lawsuit that MillerCoors worried that Pabst would cut into its market share and devised a plan to stop brewing for the smaller competitor. MillerCoors attorneys called Pabst's claim a conspiracy theory, and they said the company was simply deciding what makes economic sense. So there's a contract brewing for you. I didn't realize MillerCoors did all the Pabst Blue Ribbon beers. It's a lot of beer that they put out. The agreement between MillerCoors and Pabst, which was founded in Milwaukee in 1844. That's how far Pabst goes back. But is now headquartered in Los Angeles, expires in 2020, but it provides for 2 possible 5-year extensions. The companies disagreed on how the extensions were negotiated. MillerCoors argued it had sole discretion to determine whether it can continue brewing for Pabst, whereas Pabst said the companies must work in good faith to find a solution if Pabst wanted to extend the agreement, but MillerCoors lacked capacity, which is fair. However, Pabst said internal documents from MillerCoors showed the company was worried about competition from Pabst, and went as far as hiring a consultant to find a way to get out of the brewing agreement. Surprise, surprise. Now these big guys are against each other. It's crazy. This industry's crazy. Pabst needs 4 million to 4.5 million barrels brewed annually and claims MillerCoors is the only option. Pabst's lawsuit sought more than $400 million in damages and a court order for MillerCoors to honor its contract. And MillerCoors and Anheuser-Busch, which have the biggest market share at 24.8% and 41.6%, respectively, have been losing business to smaller independent brewers, imports, wine, and spirits in recent years, according to the Brewers Association, U.S.-based trade group. Overall, U.S. beer sales have declined, with shipments down from 213.1 million barrels in 2008 to 204,000.2 million barrels in 2017, according to the association. So, within 10 years, it's gone down. I think that's... the craft beer is really increasing every year and growing and taking share away from these guys, and they're just trying to figure it out. Next story, it just keeps popping up. Trillium labor practices, brewing methods are questioned. Trillium makes great beer, and I hear that Edgar Hernandez, we interviewed him on a podcast when he worked for Bad Labs. I think he's at Trillium now. I'm trying to get a hold of you, Edgar. Call me, email me, man. If you know Edgar, tell him to call me, email me, Michael at craftbeerstorm.com. Massachusetts craft beer maker Trillium Brewing Company labor practices and brewing methods are under scrutiny after accusations were lodged last week by a self-described former employee in an online beer forum. So that's how powerful it is, these online beer forums, podcasts. We're the age where you can look at your phone and get instant updates on whatever and look at opinions, and it could spread like wildfire. According to the former employee who used the name AbbaGoFit in a beer advocate forum, Trillium required its retail employees to reapply for jobs they already held prior to last month's opening of the company's new brewery, taproom, and restaurant in Boston's Four Point neighborhood. The ex-worker wrote that the base compensation for employees who had worked there more than 3 years at the brewery was cut from $8 an hour to $5 an hour to work the same job across the street. We apologize that this is causing our employees, customers, and friends doubt in any way or integrity of the Trillium or their ongoing support of us, the company said. We are fortunate that we have assembled such a talented team and remain committed to brewing exceptional beer that we can share with our family, friends, and customers. And they do brew great beer. They're Massachusetts and Boston area and around the area. Since the issues were raised last week, customers have left scathing comments on social media posts advertising new release beers priced as much as $22.20 a 4-pack. One commenter shared a Photoshop label of Trillium's Cutting Tiles double IPA and changed the name to Cutting Wages. All right, we're out of control. The staff pay wasn't the only issue raised in the beer advocate forum. The former employee also accused Trillium of cutting corners in the brewing process, including pouring tequila into kegs of a beer and promoted the beer as being barrel-aged to consumers. The commenter also claimed that the management instructed workers to lie to customers about the beer's origins and later tell customers that the tequila flavor was brewer's magic. Wow, if that's true, that's bad. For Trillium, that's we don't know if it's true or not, but you can't mix hard liquor and beer. It's just bad stuff. It's against the law. They straight up dumped tequila into kegs, the commenter wrote. And I'm no lawyer, but I know that it's illegal. And yes, it is. Trillium has yet to address those allegations. So a lot of activity at Trillium. Next story. People moves. Ex-New Belgium brewmaster joins Melvin's board. And Melvin Brewing adds Peter Burkhardt to the board. So former New Belgium brewmaster Peter Burkhardt has joined the Wyoming-based Melvin Brewing's board of directors, according to Forbes. Burkhardt, I hope I'm saying his name correctly, who left New Belgium after more than 2 decades to join Purpose Brewing and Cellars last May, told the outlet that he approached Melvin founder Jeremy Tofty at the Great American Beer Festival to discuss the company's growth and to learn about the response to allegations that an employee has groped a server at another brewery in Bellingham, Washington. More accusations earlier this year. That employee, who was suspended, sent to sexual harassment training and given drug addiction treatment, is no longer with the company. So a lot of activity, a lot of frustration and turmoil in these articles. Unbelievable. Burkhardt's addition to the Melvin's board follows the exit of sales director Ted Whitney, who departed the fast-growing Wyoming craft brewery for a similar sales road at Nug, a California-based cannabis company that sells edibles, flowers, concentrates, seeds, and more. So you see a lot of these brewers and a lot of people involved in the brewing industry just leaving and going into this cannabis industry, the THC-infused beers. We get those articles every week now, and this is another article which shows you that it's kind of a shift. I guess there's a lot of opportunity in that area as it becomes legalized. It's just infused with the whole beer scene. And last story, as U.S. beer shipments decline, off-premise sales remain flat. Shipments of domestically brewed beer are down about 2.9%, according to the Beer Institute. But year-to-date, volume sales at off-premise retailers are still basically flat. So off-premise is like a store. On-premise would be where you drink a beer in a restaurant or bar. Dwindling sales of domestic premium beers drove much of the declines, as volume sales of these products were down 5% during the period. Picking up some of that lost volume were imported beers. Despite the modest growth for the craft category as a whole, volume sales of some of the country's largest craft breweries, including New Belgium, Gambrinus, Craft Brewer Alliance, and Deschutes, were all in decline during the period. Nevertheless, other top-ranked craft beer companies are bucking category-wide trends, like Founders Brewing, Stone Brewing, Canarchy Craft Brewery, Collective, Firestone Walker, Dogfish Head, and New Glarus Brewing are all up double digits. Well, they make some delicious beer, really good beer, those guys, so I'm not surprised that they're up. Among craft beer styles, IPAs, surprise, surprise, are still the largest product type in the category, with dollar sales up 12.8%. I don't know if that's ever going to go away. I think it's just, I don't know about the future, but I love IPAs too. I mean, we make an Outer Limits with Galaxy hops, and that's always what I go to. I've been finding myself lately because it's just delicious. Hops are great. Good stuff. Sales of craft golden ales and other pale lagers are also still on the rise. Both categories were up 13.5% and 52.9%, albeit on a smaller volume basis. So, your golden ales and pale lagers. So lighter beers are growing. I guess more people need some sessionable stuff there. Maybe they're tired of the one and you're done beers, like the high ABV, really super concentrated. They're trending towards these more sessionable styles. Interesting. And these stories are courtesy of Brewbound and CNBC. So that's the craft brew news for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what we're doing, you like this podcast, I'm doing this 3 days a week for you. We're putting 3 episodes a week out. Monday is our interview with a brewer or a mover and shaker in the craft beer industry. Wednesday is beer styles. I just take a beer style based on the GABF guidelines, go down the list, describe what the beer is, what glass to serve it in, some examples for you if you want to try it. And Friday is our craft brew news. So we're just trying to get as much beer information out to you as possible. If you like what we're doing, or if you have any comments, please, email me at michael@craftbeerstorm.com. But if you could do me a massive favor, please go on iTunes and give us a rating, give us a review, and, like the podcast, subscribe, tell a friend, or tell 10 friends. We're 10X here. Tell 10 friends that we exist. That's the only way we can move up the rankings, and, we're looking to be number one. So, onward with the journey, and I love you guys, and we'll talk to you next week. Take care.